Science, if you will, if there is such a thing. It's an art, obviously.
Now, before we get to those spoilers for season 5, I'm giving you plenty of chances to turn this off before we get to them, but before we get to those,
you don't have to do this. We can put the world back to how it was.
Remember it was back in 2013 in March, there was an episode in The Walking Dead where Rick is coming along and he meets the guy that actually helped him in the pilot. And that guy has set up a security perimeter around the apartment complex he was living in, and zombies were getting caught up in the barbed wire, and then he was, finishing them off by either shooting them or stabbing them with a spear. Well, here's an article out of the Daily Mail. Is that fence to keep people out or patients in? U.S. troops set up at first Ebola-filled hospital in Liberia and start with a barbed wire perimeter. And there's photographs here. You can see them setting up the concertina wire, just stretching out many layers of it, setting that up, putting it in, burying it with fence poles, stuff to really keep it secure. Sort of like the same thing. Maybe they've watched that episode and decided this is what we have to do to keep us safe. If you remember, even a few weeks ago, there was a patient who got out of an Ebola treatment center and was seen walking around, and you had the officials in hazmat gear and the police capture this guy and round him back up and get him back in the hospital. So this is something that we could see in the future. And now we're going to get on to the spoilers here for season 5 of The Walking Dead.
You show up and 3 of us are gone.
You don't know what is at stake.
So the end of season 4, you saw some of the main characters get rounded up in this area called Terminus, where they've been trying to get to all of that season, and they all got split up, and you had different adventures going on there. And at the end, we see them rounded up into a boxcar. Well, now in season 5, apparently people are going to be a bigger problem than the zombies. And that is coming out of our sources that the zombies are going to still be there, but it's the people fighting each other, which you've seen in other seasons with the governor and things like that, of the people not really coming together and working together as a team, actually seizing different resources and excluding some people and bringing in some people, and really a really dog-eat-dog world, a Darwinian scenario. We're also going to have more major characters dying off, and really quickly. Don't be surprised if you see several of your favorites, maybe even Norman Reedus, the archer, maybe seeing him die off. Who knows? I'm not going to spoil that one for you, but I was told at least 2 people who I know for a fact are going to die, and they are going to be main characters. There is going to be more romance. It's not just going to be Glenn and Maggie. You're also going to have some other romances develop. They didn't say who. My guess is it's going to be Beth and Daryl. Also, we're now